Good evening and welcome to Left, Right and Centre this Tuesday night. I'm Nidhi Razdan. On the program this evening, fresh allegations are levelled against Robert Vadra by Arvind Kejriwal and his team, and also DLF and the Haryana government. This time Arvind Kejriwal talks about a clear nexus between all three. The question we're asking tonight is whether the Congress party can afford to be dismissive of a probe into this entire issue. Also, later in the program, if we do eventually get some time, as reactions to the Kejriwal story are still coming in, we will look at that India TV sting operation on umpires and ask whether the ICC has been a failure at curbing corruption in cricket and how seriously we should take this sting operation. We'll look at all that and more in just a few minutes, but first, the big story tonight has been Arvind Kejriwal's press conference this evening, in which fresh allegations were levelled against Robert Vadra, including an allegation by him that 30 acres of land that was meant for a hospital in Haryana was given to DLF in 2007 by the state government to set up a special economic zone. And Mr. Kejriwal has alleged that Robert Vadra in that special economic zone held shares for about a year, which were then sold back to DLF. There are a series of allegations, in fact, that he has made on the nexus, he alleges, between the state government, between Robert Vadra and DLF. Shweta Rajpal Kohli, my colleague, now joins us with more on that. Shweta, demystify all of this for us. What is the bottom line in what Mr. Kejriwal has said today?
Well, clearly Mr. Kejriwal has come up with fresh allegations against Mr. Robert Vadra and the nexus allegedly between DLF as well as the Haryana government. DLF on its part, of course, strongly denies any of these. So first, let's tell you what DLF has told NDTV with regard to some of the charges, specifically on the unsecured loan charge, which was levelled once again by Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. They're saying they're standing by every statement that they had made earlier, saying that there was no unsecured loan that was given either to Mr. Robert Vadra or to the Skylight Group. When it comes to the 50 crore loan that was given as an advance towards the purchase of land, which they say that was not an unsecured loan, but that was an advance. In fact, the total deal was amounting 58 crore rupees, of which they had paid 50 crore rupees towards the purchase of that land. DLF goes on to say that the 15 crore advance, that was again another figure that shows up in the balance sheet, was also meant towards aggregating land, which was refunded to DLF when the land was found unsuitable. If I were to just clarify, this is with regard to a Faridabad land, which DLF claims that it was assessing on part of Mr. Vadra and his company, which they felt after due diligence was not suitable, and when it was found unsuitable, that money was returned. So what are the fresh allegations on part of Arvind Kejriwal and his team against Mr. Vadra? They say that in 2008-9, Vadra's firm Skylight Group had, in fact, we'll try and play that out again, but saying that DLF was ready to buy land for 58 crore rupees, even though Mr. Vadra's company had bought it only for 15 crore rupees. So why this sharp jump in value for that same piece of land that Mr. Vadra had bought at a much lesser value, for which DLF was willing to pay as much as 58 crore rupees. Now, DLF sources tell us that the reason why they were willing to pay that high amount was because Mr. Vadra had in fact got a special approval to convert that land from agricultural to commercial, which made that land an attractive piece of investment for the DLF group, and it was adjacent to one of their projects, the Primus, which is why they were willing to purchase that land at a much higher value. Mr. Kejriwal also asking, how did the price of land soar from 15 crore rupees to 58 crore rupees in 1 year? We're waiting for an official statement from DLF, but as per sources, that was because an LOI was given by the Haryana government for that land, which they claim was as per normal procedures, and because they felt that this was important for their overall growth and development plan, and that they can still make money by selling projects, by selling either commercial or residential apartments or units from that complex. But first, let's listen into what Mr. Kejriwal had to say with regard to some of those fresh allegations.
ये पंजाब और हरियाणा हाई कोर्ट ने बोला कि डीएलएफ के और हरियाणा सरकार के बीच में एक मैलाफाइड नेक्सस है। गुड़गांव में 30 एकड़ जमीन थी, उसके ऊपर अस्पताल बनना था। यह भी 5 मिनट पहले कॉपी आई है कि 30 एकड़ जमीन पे अस्पताल बनना था। हरियाणा सरकार ने अस्पताल बनाने की बजाय डीएलएफ को 7 मार्च 2007 को 9 मार्च 2007 को परमिशन दे दी कि आप अस्पताल की बजाय इस पे एससीजेड बना लीजिए। ये लोग सब दुखी हो गए, हाई कोर्ट गए, और पंजाब और हरियाणा हाईकोर्ट ने ना केवल उस SEZ को कैंसिल कर दिया, मैं थोड़ा सा ध्यान आपका उस तरफ दिलाना चाहूंगा। DLF ने कुछ जवाब भेजे थे अभी कुछ दिन पहले। उन्होंने कहा था कि हमने कोई अनसिक्योर्ड लोन नहीं दिए हैं, अनसिक्योर्ड लोन नहीं दिए हैं। अगर आप पेज 11 पे आइए, पेज 11 पे साफ साफ लिखा है लोन फ्रॉम DLF लिमिटेड 5 करोड़। ये क्या है? और इसी का कॉरेस्पॉन्डेंस जो इन्होंने कंपनी रजिस्ट्रार ऑफ कंपनीज में फाइल किया उसमें लिखा है कि अनसिक्योर्ड लोन है। उसके बाद इन्होंने कहा, इन्होंने 50 करोड़ रुपए का एक एडवांस दिया है। कहते जी ये 50 करोड़ रुपए का एडवांस तो हमने जमीन खरीदने के लिए दिया था।
All right, so as you can see, Mr. Kejriwal there clearly questioning those amounts of 50 crore rupees as well as the 5 crore rupees which they say was a loan, something that DLF clearly denies. But let's quickly sum up for you all the fresh allegations on part of Mr. Kejriwal and his team against Mr. Vadra as well as the Haryana government, saying the Haryana government tried to give land meant for a hospital to DLF for its SEZ, also saying that there were 3 bids for the 30-acre land and 2 bids were not even opened, thereby giving preferential treatment to DLF. Again, other allegations clearly point out, saying that the DLF bid was accepted and others were rejected and it was unopened even at a technical stage. We're of course waiting for DLF to give its official reaction to all these fresh allegations, but let's try and see if there's any more. 2 bids were much more than that of DLF, so the government made huge losses by actually giving that piece of land to DLF and not to the other bidders. Those are the allegations, of course, fresh allegations coming in, that the Haryana government also gave forest land without seeking any permission. That's another fresh allegation that has come against DLF as well as the Haryana government today, saying that the land was transferred to DLF for private profit, not for public purpose. So a fresh round of allegations clearly coming, questioning really, as they term, the nexus between large real estate player DLF as well as the Haryana government. DLF on its part continuing to maintain that no, they stand by their statement. There was no loan that was given and there was no preferential treatment that was given to the Skylight Group or to Mr. Robert Vadra. Let's actually listen into what the Corporate Affairs Minister had to say about the possibility of any probe.
The prima facie from the balance sheet and other returns, there does not appear to be any violation of the provisions of the Companies Law. That's number one. So, other thing is, the earlier, maybe a year back or so, in a separate complaint made by some private persons against DLF, not on the issue of Mr. Robert Vadra, independent of that, mainly pertain to their land deals. The matter was examined, scrutinized, and no serious infirmities for violation of the Companies Laws were noticed. Appropriate action was taken for few technical violations. I don't know what Mr. Kejriwal is telling, what is his motive, and we are not concerned with that. I am speaking pure and simple. What is our record? I don't think any responsible persons can reflect on some of these wayside allegations made by anyone.
Well, the big focus tonight, can the Congress be dismissive about these allegations against Robert Vadra? Can they be dismissive about a probe into whatever has been alleged? As the Corporate Affairs Minister just said to NDTV, there is no need for a probe. He says everything is all right. Renuka Chaudhary of the Congress party is with us tonight. Siddharth Nath Singh of the BJP. We have Manish Shishodia, who is a close aide of Mr. Kejriwal's and part of his India Against Corruption team. We have senior editor Mr. Bharat Bhushan with us. Harish Salve will be joining us as well shortly. Renuka Chaudhary, can the Congress afford to be dismissive of these allegations? I'm asking that straight off because there are some serious allegations that have been made and certain things are on record. These are documents that have been furnished which are based on Mr. Vadra's company's balance sheets which are filed with the government. So at the end of the day, can the Congress afford to say where is the evidence, where is the proof, there is no probe? Shouldn't the government be looking at this a little dispassionately?
Nidhi, I think we are already being judged, isn't it, when we are asked these questions? you know, on the one hand, if you look, these are allegations.
Sorry, I'm just going to interrupt you for a minute because the Haryana State Industrial and Infrastructure Development Corporation is having a press conference on to rebut what Mr. Kejriwal has said. I'll come back to all of you as soon as it's over in a few minutes.
DLF sectors of phase 5 has been increased from 250 to 625. In fact, this has not been increased. This has only been converted from per acre to per hectares. The density which has been shown in the earlier plans, it's a Gazette notified plan of 2025 AD, and prior to that 2021, where in respect of the DLF sectors 42, 43, 53 and 54 of Gurgaon, it was shown as 250 persons per acre. In fact, it was written only 250. But in the zoning regulations, it is mentioned that it is per acre, and in other sectors it was written as 100, that is 100 persons per acre. Earlier plans, it's a Gazette notified plan of 2025 AD, and prior to that 2021, where in respect of the DLF sectors 42, 43, 53 and 54 of Gurgaon, it was shown as 250 persons per acre. In fact, it was written only 250. But in the zoning regulations, it is mentioned that it is per acre, and in other sectors it was written as 100, that is 100 persons per acre. Now, in the 2031 plan, we have converted all the figures to hectares, and as you know, 1 hectare consists of 2.5 acres. So 250 persons per acre gets converted into 625 persons per hectare. So there is no increase in density. It is existing as it was since 2001, or since when the first plan, the final plan was published in 1996. So I want to say that there has not been any increase in the density of sectors which has been alleged. Second is that release of land meant for setting up of hospital to DLF Limited. I have seen that NDTV, this report, 350 acres of land in Gurgaon meant for hospital has been given. In fact, this is not 350 acres, this is 30 acres, and this 30 acre, I'll just give you a brief background. This land belonged to East India Hotels Limited, and they applied for a change of land use permission in 1984, and this change of land use permission was granted to them on 18 acres on 17th of July 1984. However, they did not complete the project, and meanwhile Section 4 notification was issued on 30th of January 1989. Kindly mark the dates. These dates are very important. The acquisition proceedings were started in 1989 in respect of the land which was falling in Sector 30 Gurgaon. Now, these acquisition proceedings, the ownership of East India Limited was 37 acres, more than 37 acres in fact, and they filed a writ petition in the Honorable High Court, number of which was 3808 of 1990, where stay disposition was granted by the Honorable High Court. After that, this land was not being utilized, this was lying defunct, and then later on, since this was not being utilized, then they approached the government, and government, for the purpose of establishing hospital, hotel management institute, construction of the executive apartments, they released this land, 30 acres, and this release was done on 19th of September 1995. That is more than 16 years back. This release of land was done on, I am again repeating the date, that is 19th of September 1995. So as well as no release of land has taken place during last 10 years. Now they were not able to set up the hospital complex. Later on a request was received in 2005 from this East India Hotels Limited that they have not been able to utilize this land. Meanwhile, our state officer of Haryana Urban Development Authority, he issued a resumption notice against this company. This was also challenged in the Honorable High Court, and since the court proceedings were there, they applied for permission to sell this land to DLF, because one of the conditions of release was you cannot release the land without the prior approval of government. Now this issue was examined by the department and also in consultation with Law Department. Law Department of Haryana is always headed by a person from Superior Judiciary Service of Haryana. It is not meant by any IAS or PCS officer. It is headed by a member from Superior Judicial Service, and they opined that permission can be granted subject to 3 conditions. That is, East India Hotel Limited withdraws all cases filed by it on the subject matter. Withdrawal should be before and not after grant of permission. Number 2, all the requisite charges are paid before the permission is granted. Number 3, transferee furnishes an undertaking to abide by the regulations / policies and develop the site in accordance with the approved master plan. And this master plan was in place since 1996. This was not the master plan which was prepared by the government in 2005, and accordingly the permission was granted. When the permission was granted, this land was transferred in favor of DLF Limited by East India Hotel Company. So from the facts it is clear that no land belonging to the government or Haryana Urban Development Authority was either allotted or released in 2005 in favor of any private individual. This land belonged to East India Hotel Limited only, released more than 16 years back. However, Honorable Punjab and Haryana High Court, they quashed this permission to transfer, while their order dated 3rd of February 2011. State of Haryana as well as all the affected parties, they have challenged this in the Honorable Supreme Court, and Honorable Supreme Court has granted stay on this judgment of the Honorable High Court on 20th of June 2011. After seeing all the pleadings which have been taken by us, stay has been granted by the Honorable Supreme Court on the decision of the Honorable High Court which has been quoted today, and therefore the Government of Haryana will not like to comment any further because the matter is sub judice in the Supreme Court. However, it is reiterated that permission was granted after following due process of law, and release of land was done more than 16 years back. One allegation that is that the officers of Haryana, they are tilted in favor of DLF Limited, and since the officers are here, we are saying no favor has been granted to DLF. DLF is a reputed developer, number 1 in the country at the moment. The other developers who are operating in the field, and all the permissions which have been granted by Town and Country Planning Department, that is strictly in accordance with rules. Not even a single license or case has been cited in which it has been alleged that this permission has been granted in violation of rules. Rather, I would like to cite there are many cases, but one case where in respect of charging of internal development charges, Ansal Limited has challenged that in the High Court, and then they won from the Supreme Court. We had to refund approximately 10 crore rupees to Ansal Limited. Now based on that, DLF also filed its claim. This amount was 594.6 crores. Now when we refused this claim, they filed a writ petition in the Honorable High Court. It was very easy by the officers and the Government of Haryana, based on the judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court, to release this amount to DLF Limited. Rather, we amended the Act itself it is there in the statement of objects and reasons which has been published in the official gazette that amendment in the act is being done to overturn or to take care of the judgment which has been given by the Honorable Supreme Court, and this was notified in the official gazette in 2012. This year itself we changed the law, made it retrospective, and we have been able to notify that, with the result that we have been able to save more than 594.6 crore rupees, which could have been easily paid. So that impression that the officers of the government is tilted towards DLF Limited, that is totally wrong. And these are the three instances which are told, and my friend now he would like to throw light on one or two issues, and then after that any questions on facts, please.
इधर आ जाइए आप
I will like to apprise you about the facts relating to the leisure and entertainment project in Wazirabad. Now, this is a project which has been conceptualized in the year 2002-2003. That is the time when the government of Haryana thought of having a leisure and entertainment project. In pursuance of that, the notification for the acquisition of land was issued in the year 2003. Section 4 was issued in 2003 and the Section 6 was then issued in the year 2004. It was also during that time that the entire concept for the implementation of this project was made, and primarily the concept was that since in this particular land nothing much could be done because 92 acres of the area is under the PLPA notification and there are other restrictions pertaining to the radar zone, there are other clearances required under the Aravali notification, so there is not much which can be done in this. So a project should be conceptualized in which there should be a combination of greens, combination of convention facilities, hotels, commercial spaces and residential spaces. Based on that, at that time a consultant called PGA Consultants was engaged by the HSIIDC, and HSIIDC was designated in the year 2004 itself as the nodal agency for the development of this project. The land was also notified in the name of Leisure and Entertainment Project, and after the PGA Consultants had submitted a detailed report, the land was finally acquired in the year 2006. When this land was acquired and the project was to go on stream, at that time it was thought that in the total land, 273 acres belongs to HSIIDC and about 75 acres belong to Huda. In 2004 itself it has been decided that this project should be a combined project of HSIIDC, Huda, and they should either jointly do it themselves or they should get a private person to do this particular project. And in 2004 itself it was also said that the clearances for this project should be obtained by the government, and in pursuance of that a letter was also sent to Ministry of Environment and Forest for getting the clearance of the land. So which means that most of the contours of the project had already been set, and then the decision was taken that this particular project should not be allotted to anybody. At the same time, it is not possible for HSIIDC and Huda to directly implement the project. So the best route which was considered to implement this project was by international competitive bidding route. The project concept remained the same which was given by the PGA Consultants, and after that, for getting the valuation of land, the HSIIDC appointed ILFS for getting the valuation of land. The government also set up a separate committee headed by Secretary Town and Country Planning with Secretary Industries, Director Town and Country Planning, MD HSIIDC, Special Secretary Finance as members to implement this project as a subcommittee of the board of HSIIDC. And then
Okay, so those are the authorities in Haryana who are basically rebutting point by point in fairly great detail the points that Arvind Kejriwal had raised today about alleged wrongdoing by the Haryana government and DLF as well as Robert Vadra. They are insisting that there was no favor that was ever given to DLF and that everything was done according to the rules. I was actually with Renuka Chaudhary just before we broke into this press conference. Renuka, I was coming back to the question about whether the Congress can afford to be dismissive about a probe into these allegations.
Nidhi, you know, I was telling you when we got interrupted that number one, these are allegations which have been rebutted point by point on national TV. Why is there no credibility being given to them? Here you have a man waving a bunch of papers who come out. Now, is Arvind Kejriwal, we are not being dismissive. We are not at all being dismissive. We have taken it very seriously simply because this kind of slanderous talk that is being aired and debated on, that we have an entire national discussion on one individual who somehow has crawled out of the woodwork with these papers which is quoted at random out of context without any substantiation, and now he's been rebutted. Now is he ready to apologize? You should ask him that.
No, but I want to ask you that how can you...
He has to apologize because he made these fancy allegations. 30 acres given to hospital was done. Farmers were cheated. How can he make such allegations?
But the point is that there are some serious unanswered questions, and therefore can the corporate affairs minister, the way he did today, this evening, say, you know, there's nothing's wrong, everything's above board. DLF may have done something technically wrong, but Mr. Vadra is above board. You know, can the corporate affairs minister say that when nothing has actually been studied, nothing has been gone into?
No, why are we even debating this without anyone studying anything? That is my point. Why is this a media issue at this point when nothing is substantial? I mean, is this the kind of world we are going to live in? Now, I am going to say, Nidhi, I have a bunch of papers here which all categorically have shown where Arvind Kejriwal is getting all his funds from, who pays the salaries of all his people around him. I've got it. But I'll come out with the evidence 6 months later. Please, this should be breaking news.
Okay, so you're sticking to your stand. I want to ask Mr. Harish Salve. Mr. Salve, you've been watching this unfold over the last few days. Based on everything that you've heard so far, do you believe that on the face of it, there needs to be some kind of investigation into all of this?
I'll tell you quite candidly, yesterday I was a little concerned that why is the administration already giving clean chits to people. After seeing what has come out today, I feel that I'm sorry the media is wasting time trying to promote the political career of one person.
Why do you say that?
The best he has, yes, I'll tell you, if this is the best he has been able to come out with, and it shows, I'm sorry to say, a degree of irresponsibility in making the allegations. Let me start by telling you the judgment he was citing from. I appealed against that, I appeared for DLF. The matter was admitted, and then finally the court had ordered a demolition of buildings, a stay was granted. That case had been brought by so-called members of the Gram Panchayat who claimed that the land should have come back to the Gram Panchayat and not given to DLF. The land had been given in this transaction between East India Hotels and DLF. There was no question of government land being allotted to anybody, and East India Hotels had got it in a bid or something of that kind. I mean, it is a case pending in Supreme Court. Why did Mr. Kejriwal not have the honesty to point out that the Supreme Court has stayed the operation of the judgment?
That's right.
What happens if tomorrow Supreme Court reverses this judgment? Point number one. Point number two, the 350 acres he's talking about was obtained through an international commercial bidding route. The third, he has said DLF phase 5, the FAR was increased. This was the only increase they've had in FAR was in 1995. I mean, is this the seriousness of these allegations which are being made of quid pro quo against a listed company whose shares have tanked 8% today?
So you're saying,
what is this going on?
You're saying it's completely, are you saying that they're completely irresponsible allegations? After all, there are serious questions on how...
These three are irresponsible.
Of course they are.
But there are also...
These three are irresponsible allegations.
These three. However, the allegations about how a gentleman who is part of a very influential, the most influential family in this country, who starts off with 50 lakhs and then goes on to have this amazing real estate business in just a span of 1 year, does that raise some question marks according to you, Mr. Salve?
No, I'm sorry, it doesn't. If
Why?
this is, he was asked, he has made a very serious allegation of corruption. Please, he has made a very serious allegation of corruption against a listed company. It's a reputed company, one of India's old established companies. He has alleged corruption. People who allege corruption should be very sure of their facts. Today he comes and says, because I don't have investigative agency in my hand, so I have done the best I can. Is this the way you allege corruption? And these are the kind of people who now want to form the government and lead this country. Oh my God.
Okay, Mr. Salve, very strong words from you there. Let me get Manish Sisodiya to respond to that. He said there is irresponsibility in the allegations. He has cited 3 particular reasons on that. And the fact is, yes, when you make an allegation of corruption, until now, there is nothing that really suggests that on paper.
मैं हिंदी में सोचता हूँ तो हिंदी में बोलूँगा।
हिंदी में बोलिए।
देखिए, हमसे क्या अपेक्षा है? क्या हम रॉबर्ट वडेरा साहब और भूपेंद्र सिंह हुड्डा के बीच के टेलीफोन कन्वर्सेशंस रिकॉर्ड करके लाएं? वो तो नहीं हो सकता कि सबूत के रूप में। कुछ पेपर्स हैं और ये पेपर्स क्वेश्चन उठाते हैं।
ये क्या तरीका होता है?
आप सुन लीजिए मैडम, मैं आपकी बात सुन रहा था। एक हॉस्पिटल की जमीन थी।
पेपर आप आगे पीछे नहीं समझे।
आप बता रहे हैं ना, हम पूछ रहे, सवाल खड़ा कर रहे हैं, उस पर सवाल तो सुनिए। हॉस्पिटल की जमीन थी, पब्लिक पर्पज के लिए एक्वायर की गई थी, उसके बाद उसको एसईजेड के लिए दे दिया गया।
नहीं,
हाईकोर्ट अरे दिया ना,
किसको दिया है?
हाईकोर्ट कह रहा है।
नहीं, ये गलत कह रहे हैं आप। हाईकोर्ट की जजमेंट उस पर नहीं है।
हाईकोर्ट की जजमेंट में लिखा हुआ है
हाईकोर्ट में।
हाईकोर्ट की,
बाबा आप पढ़िए केयरफुली।
मैं हाईकोर्ट की जजमेंट को
सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने उसकी अपील कर दी
जी, अब भी आपके पास वक्त है
जी,
आप जरा दिल थाम।
मेरा रिक्वेस्ट आपसे ये है कि आप जरा ये हाईकोर्ट का ऑर्डर भी पढ़ लीजिए जिसका हरीश साल्वे साहब ने जिक्र किया है। वो खुद
उसकी अपील सुप्रीम कोर्ट में पेंडिंग है।
जाएगा कि आप
अपील सुप्रीम कोर्ट में पेंडिंग है,
मगर वो तो
और स्टे किया हुआ है ऑर्डर।
अरविंद ने तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट की अपील के बारे में बात ही नहीं करी।
सुप्रीम कोर्ट में पेंडिंग है, लेकिन ऑब्जर्वेशन थोड़ी चेंज होंगे हाईकोर्ट के। ऑब्जर्वेशन ये है
इस तरह से
हाईकोर्ट का ऑब्जर्वेशन है, देयर वाज ए नेक्सस बिटवीन द गवर्नमेंट एंड डीएलएफ टू ग्रैब द लैंड इन क्वेश्चन।
लेकिन वही सुप्रीम
और अगर वो गलत निकला
तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जाएंगे। सुप्रीम कोर्ट
स्टे किया हुआ है उसको।
सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जाएंगे तो इसका मतलब सारा हाईकोर्ट का वो खराब है। हाईकोर्ट में अगर एक ऑब्जर्वेशन करके
डे में पेंडिंग है, एक सब जुडिस का रूल होता है।
तरीके से बात करे जा रहे हैं।
इसमें
हाईकोर्ट
आपने हॉस्पिटल के लिए जमीन ली किसानों से, पब्लिक पर्पज के लिए ली। हुडा का काम है पब्लिक पर्पज के लिए काम करना, बहुत अच्छी बात थी, लेकिन उसको जब एसईजेड के लिए दिया गया तो हाईकोर्ट ने किया। कल हो सकता है सुप्रीम कोर्ट ठीक भी कहता है कि ठीक है, फिर क्या करोगे आप जिस तरह से मना कर रहे हो कि ठीक नहीं है, तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट तो कल ये भी कह सकता है नहीं साहब हाईकोर्ट ने बहुत अच्छा कहा, फिर क्या करोगे आप? फिर मान जाओगे कि बहुत गलत था, हम लोग गलत बोल रहे थे टीवी पे।
लेकिन जब मैटर सब जुडिस है, उनका कहना है
मैटर सब जुडिस है।
हाँ।
लेकिन ये मामला तो डीएलएफ और हरियाणा गवर्नमेंट के बीच में किस तरह का है, एक ऑब्जर्वेशन में आया है तो उसको देश के सामने रखना जरूरी है। ये वेल रिपोर्टेड मैटर है, कोई नया हमने नहीं रखा है, पहले से भी रिपोर्टेड है। 350 एकड़ की जो बात कर रहे हैं, 350 एकड़ में अभी बात कर रहे थे वो ऑफिसर, 3 कंपनियां आई, 2 कंपनियों को इसलिए फेल कर दिया गया टेक्निकली, बोले आपके पास में गोल्फ कोर्स बनाने का एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है। और उसको भी कब किया गया? एडवर्टाइजमेंट में नहीं बोला गया उनको, जब उनकी टेक्निकल बिडिंग खोल ली गई उसके बाद उनको कहा गया कि आपका तो गोल्फ कोर्स का एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है तो आपको नहीं। एक कंपनी बची, वही रेस में थी, वही जीत गई।
Okay, but let me take that back to Mr. Salve. I don't want to get bogged down in the technicalities of this, but Mr. Salve, on that specific point, on how this bidding took place, what would you say to that?
Correct. Who has challenged it? And is it pending in a court? If it is pending in a court, Mr. Kejriwal has already pronounced the bidding to be illegal, is it?
राइट टू इन्फॉर्मेशन में लिख के दिया है इन्हीं ऑफिसर्स ने कि हमारे पास में 3 ही कंपनियां आई थी और हमने 2 को रिजेक्ट कर दिया था क्योंकि उनके
पास therefore it becomes illegal, is it?
अरे
I mean, what is all
इलीगल? जांच नहीं करोगे तो इलीगल आप कैसे वर्डिक्ट दे सकते हैं साल्वे साहब? जांच के रॉबर्ट वाड्रा उसमें इन्वॉल्व है। 2007 में सारा
आपने कह दिया तो इलीगल हो गया और जांच की जरूरी हो।
हरियाणा सरकार डीएलएफ पे मेहरबान हो रही है।
ये आपकी
3 कंपनियां रेस में बुलाई जाती है, उनमें से 2 को इसलिए कह दिया जाता है कि आपके पास तो गोल्फ कोर्स बनाने का एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है, आप रेस में नहीं हो, एक ही रेस में वो डीएलएफ है।
Okay, one second to all of you. Mr. Bhushan, is the problem here, as we've been saying from the beginning, is that the guilt has been presumed from the beginning. Whether or not the papers establish anything, Mr. Robert Vadra is facing a huge perception crisis today.
Absolutely. What Kejriwal and Manish and others have done is, talked about the unmentionables in Indian politics. That is the first family. They've tried to show that Robert Vadra is not an ordinary, brassware exporter from Moradabad, that he is a very special businessman because he has intangible social and political capital by virtue of being the son-in-law of the first family of Congress. Alright? And then they have tried to show or suggest or allege that he's got sweetheart deals from DLF. On the face of it, some of them do look like sweetheart deals. I mean specifically the advances given to him for buying flats and so on and so forth. And then they are saying that wherever there are Congress governments, they are favoring the son-in-law of the Congress president. Now all this is at the level of presumption just now, because they themselves say they don't have complete documents. So people can draw correlative conclusions. We journalists, like to think the worst of everybody, and we say, there must be something wrong. But what exactly has gone wrong has to be proven, and the government would have done well to say, all right, there should be inquiry. Mrs. Gandhi could have said, all right, Robert Vadra will go and live in the outhouse for a while till we clear his name. None of this is being done. What are they saying? They're saying, why don't these people go to court? Are they some self-help group where is the public meant to go to court with everything and say that if there's public corruption, you need institutional mechanisms. You don't need individuals to go to court all the time. Or, I mean, I'm not a great votary of Mr. Kejriwal and others, but I'm saying, what is their fight all about? Their fight is that have institutional mechanisms to check corruption.
Yes, Mr. Salve, Mr. Salve wanted to come in here. Yes, Mr. Salve.
No, I'm only saying this. Today, have we reached this stage in India? I am not about Mr. Vadra and about the government's defense of him. I am more concerned that in order to further a political battle, this is very obvious. Mr. Vadra is being targeted because Mr. Kejriwal, who is now in politics, wants to show Congress is a corrupt party. That's very obvious why he is doing. And in the meanwhile, DLF, a listed company, is collateral damage. And if all the allegations made against DLF have this kind of credibility, then it's for the nation to judge what is the credibility of these people. But Mr. Salve, at the same time, there are serious questions raised because you see such rapid progress in Mr. Vadra's businesses, and he's not an ordinary individual. He is who he is. Look, that's why I'm saying. And there will be greater scrutiny. That's why I'm saying. Then he should not have raised fingers on DLF and said, I am going to have yet another great press conference. I am going to expose these people and come with this against DLF. Okay, Renuka Chaudhary, this is a political battle being going on. Now it's a matter of propriety whether the government wants to examine it or doesn't want to examine it. But do you think they should? As far as Mr. Vadra is concerned. Do you think they should politically? Well, if after seeing today's if the government says this is a pure political tirade, I don't blame the government. Okay, yes, Renuka. Quite frankly. Yes, Renuka. I'm asking you, how are you so sure that Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is not funded by another builder company to run down this company? And how are they being funded? I'm asking that question. How do you know? How can this man just come out and shoot from the hip and say what he wants and get away with it, leaving everyone's reputations in tatters? Okay, Mr. Bhushan. Why can't he? He is launching a political party. We all know why Mr. Vadra has been targeted. He is launching a political party. He is a political animal. Is making money a sin in this country? And he is starting a political debate. Is it wrong to start a political debate? Before he got married. No, it may be right to start a political debate, but I guess the question is, this is not a political debate. This is slander. Are you backed up by hard evidence, Mr. Bhushan? That's the question. Hold an inquiry. If, for example, somebody were to make charges against Prime Minister of India, Dr. Manmohan Singh, I'm sure would say, all right, hold an inquiry. Sonia Gandhi, they said Office of Profit. She resigned from Parliament, contested elections, purified herself in the Ganges of elections, public opinion, and came back. Here is somebody against whom so much muck has been thrown. I don't know whether it is all of it is correct evidence. Examine it. What is the harm? Okay, Manish, yes. देखिए 50 लाख की एक कंपनी को 5 कंपनियों को मिला के लगातार प्रॉपर्टी पे प्रॉपर्टी मिल रही है, लोन मिल रहे हैं, उसी कंपनी से लोन मिल रही है, उसी लोन से वो प्रॉपर्टी खरीदती जा रही है, और उसके साथ साथ उनकी पार्टनर भी है डीएलएफ में कई जगह, और उसके साथ साथ वो जाके हरियाणा, उधर दूसरी तरफ हरियाणा सरकार उस पर डीएलएफ पे लगातार मेहरबान होती जा रही है, उसको भी अचानक 2007 के आसपास इतनी जमीन मिलती जा रही है। तो ये सारी चीजों को हमको देखना तो पड़ेगा, कैसे हम इग्नोर कर सकते हैं? समझा तो आपको आप सब समझाती रहेंगे, कुछ समझने की भी कोशिश कीजिए। ये सारा इतना जो जाने पहचाने लोग हैं, जो आप ये बताइए, आप ये डॉक्यूमेंट जो मर्जी इल्जाम लगाते जा रहे हैं और आपके पास सबूत नहीं। सबूत क्या नहीं है? आप
इससे ज्यादा क्या सबूत लाएं कि डीएलएफ कुछ कह रहा है? डीएलएफ तो कहता जा रहा है 3 दिन से कि हमने कोई लोन नहीं दिया। रॉबर्ट वाड्रा अपनी बैलेंस शीट में फाइल करके कह रहे हैं कि लोन लिया है हमने। इन दोनों के बयानों में कंट्राडिक्शन है।
आप बोलते जाइए
अब इन दोनों के बयानों के कंट्राडिक्शन में आप किसके साथ हैं? डीएलएफ के साथ है या रॉबर्ट वाड्रा के साथ? या तो डीएलएफ सही है कि लोन नहीं दिया, या रॉबर्ट वाड्रा सही है कि लोन लिया। डीएलएफ कहता है कि हमने बहुत सस्ते फ्लैट हमने महंगे फ्लैट बेचे हैं। रॉबर्ट वाड्रा कहते हैं कि हमने तो बहुत सस्ते में खरीदे। अपनी बैलेंस शीट में वो लिख के दे रहे हैं भारत सरकार को। कौन सही है इन दोनों में से?
Mr. Bhushan, wouldn't all of this be put to rest if the main protagonists actually spoke out and took questions and were cross-questioned? Whether it's Mr. Vadra himself, let him face the questions from the media, DLF, which has been issuing statements at its will, at its convenience, but not taking any, it's not allowing itself to be cross-questioned or cross-examined on any of these points.
Yeah, but I'm saying, why should there be a public trial of anybody?
But it's become that.
It's become that, but there should be an institutional mechanism. Let the government order an inquiry.
It becomes a public trial when you have a press conference and level allegations, doesn't it?
Right, but I'm saying, can the state behave in the same way as Mr. Kejriwal? No, it has to behave in an institutional. It cannot behave in the kind of arrogance that you see in Mrs. Renuka Chaudhary, where she derisively says, "Bolte jaiye." I mean, you cannot be derisive about these things. If Mr. Kejriwal is saying something wrong, punish him, take him to court. Why are they not filing defamation cases? If they are not taking it to court, you take it to court and make sure that they are unable to produce this kind of evidence, because it will be contempt of court then. So this reluctance to go to any institutional mechanism, to go to court, to order an inquiry, will create a doubt in people's mind.
Yeah, which brings me to the the political impact of this. Renuka Chaudhary, the Congress is already beleaguered. There have been scams. There have been huge image issues that the UPA has been dealing with. This is something that really does not help you at all. Announcing an inquiry by a retired judge, and at least would seem in the eyes of the people, at least in perception is everything today. You would seem to be saying, okay, we're ready.
I think for we have to realize.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. We cannot play to the media galleries. I'm very sorry that you actually, what is Mr. Arvind Kejriwal's credibility that you are taking up his issue and saying that we are beleaguered because of what he has said, unsubstantiated, counteracted. People have countered him point to point, and he's been quoting things out of context and playing a game, and everyone plays along.
कुछ पेपर्स
that is suspect.
But Renuka Chaudhary, why don't you file a defamation case then? Because
we asked Salman Khurshid on day one,
Renuka,
that please check us.
No, but why hasn't Mr. Vadra filed a defamation case by now? Why doesn't the Congress do that if you're so convinced that this is all rubbish?
We don't have to react. Listen, Nidhi, we can't respond the way you want us to respond. All right? Everyone has an individual take on what they're going to do and how they're going to do it.
But the point is, if you
and I think they should be allowed that much freedom as citizens of this country.
Okay, why don't you go?
No, how can you say that because one Mr. Random Kejriwal, who broke away from Team Anna, who wants publicity, who's launching a political party, he'll come out and shoot from the hip, and we are all supposed to go running and say no, and beat our chests and say
वन मिस्टर केजरीवाल के कहने पे वन मिस्टर रॉबर्ट वाड्रा के बारे में जब उसने कहा तो पूरी की पूरी भारत सरकार जवाब देने के लिए उतर आई, पूरी की पूरी कांग्रेस पार्टी जवाब देने के लिए उतर आई, हरियाणा सरकार ने अपनी अथॉरिटीज जवाब देने के लिए उतार दी,
तैयार नहीं है,
जिसके ऊपर
आपने सवाल पूछा,
डीएलएफ के ऊपर जिसके ऊपर आरोप लगे हुए हैं, अभी वो सिर्फ क्लैरिफिकेशन जारी कर रहे हैं। रॉबर्ट वाड्रा फेसबुक पर लिख रहे हैं, तो जिनको जवाब देना है वो जवाब नहीं दे रहे हैं। भारत सरकार और कांग्रेस पार्टी मिलकर जवाब देने के लिए बेचैन हुई जा रही है, जस्टिफाई करने के लिए बेचैन हुई जा रही है कि नहीं सब ठीक है, चिंता मत करिए। हर आदमी मिस्टर केजरीवाल अगर कोई नहीं है या मिस्टर रॉबर्ट वाड्रा,
आपको इतने पैसे कहां से मिल रहे हैं?
हमें तो कहीं से नहीं मिल रहे, हम तो दान पे चल रहे हैं। आप भारत सरकार के जनता के टैक्स के पैसे तो आप लोगों को मिल रहे हैं। आप यही दिखा दीजिए निधि के उस पर, आप दिखा क्यों नहीं देती है जैसे मैं दिखाने के लिए तैयार हूं।
बट मनीष एक चीज, एक मिनट, इफ एवरीवन कुड जस्ट काम डाउन, दिस फर्स्ट डे व्हेन दिस प्रशांत भूषण, व्हाई डोंट यू फाइल अ केस इन कोर्ट? प्रशांत भूषण एक बहुत सीनियर लॉयर है और उनका जवाब था कि मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है, उसमें बहुत टाइम लगता है। मतलब आपको नहीं लगता कि अगर but there are institutional mechanisms available to take this. I don't, you may say that they don't have to, but they can.
I'll tell you why they are not going to court.
Why?
I'll give you an outsider's reason. Because, they want to raise it as a political issue. The moment Kejriwal goes to court, he becomes a mere petitioner. Right now, he's a political intervener who's starting a debate. If he goes to court, he cannot produce evidence outside the court. It will be contempt of court. Justice Kapadia has given us a gift, parting gift to the media called doctrine of postponement. Powerful people can go and say postpone reporting on this issue because it affects my getting justice.
That's
so
right.
there is a downside to hold this. Everybody is in politics. So is Kejriwal. As Mrs. Chaudhary is in Kejriwal in politics. She can't say who is this Kejriwal. Tomorrow you'll say who is this Renuka Chaudhary. You can say that about any citizen. Every citizen of this country has a right to raise issues of public concern. You may not like the way they do it, you may not like their face, you may not like their caps, you may not like where they're getting their funding from, but they have a right.
Making accusations.
कोर्ट जाने के लिए कोर्ट जा भी सकते हैं, कोर्ट जाने के लिए मना नहीं कर रहे, लेकिन अगर देश की जनता के बीच में ये फैक्ट्स आ रहे हैं तो इसमें नुकसान क्या है? और अगर रॉबर्ट वाड्रा या डीएलएफ आके सारा
जाने के लिए
डीएलएफ और रॉबर्ट वाड्रा अपनी बैलेंस शीट सामने रख दें देश के सामने कि ये कंफ्यूजन है, अगर कुछ कंफ्यूजन नहीं है, वो एक फेसबुक पे लिख के कुछ बयान जारी करते हैं, वो मिस्टर वाड्रा की बैलेंस शीट से मैच नहीं कर रहा है, कैसे आप करोगे?
देखिए, टीवी पे आने के लिए टाइम है, फेसबुक पे मैंगो पीपल लिखने के लिए टाइम है, डेफेमेशन केस फाइल करने के लिए टाइम नहीं है, करना पड़ेगा।
इनके पास भी टीवी पे आने के लिए टाइम है, रिएक्शन देने के लिए टाइम है, जांच करने के लिए टाइम नहीं है।
Well, Renuka, I'll take that back to you. I mean, those are valid points. Robert Vadra thinks it's okay to, write a reaction on Facebook, but I think at the end of the day, don't you think he should just take questions on this? Let him clear the air. I feel sorry for you that you have to do this for him every day.
I'm sorry, Nidhi. I don't think this is in very good taste, and I don't think this is fair. Some chap will come out tomorrow and say some rubbish about me or somebody else, and I'm supposed to come in front and say that, oh, I'm, purer than driven snow. Then the lifelong reputation that we build up for ourselves is in tatters in 2 minutes because the media says that we should come out, and now why don't we do this? We are not running a circus. We are running a government and a country.
तो कांग्रेस और गवर्नमेंट दोनों क्यों बेचैन है मिस्टर वाड्रा को क्लीन चिट देने में? ये कांग्रेस और गवर्नमेंट दोनों इतने बेचैन क्यों है मिस्टर वाड्रा को क्लीन चिट देने में?
I understand the point Renuka is making, and as we wrap this up, Mr. Bhushan, it's a question I've asked from day one. There is also some degree of concern today that I guess these are the times we live in. There's 24-hour television, the media is what it is. But this politics of allegation, counter-allegation, are we headed down a dangerous road over here? Well, I could sit tomorrow, I could technically sit tomorrow and say, this is what I have against Renuka Chaudhary, and the media would telecast it. And I have assumed her guilt.
If it is signed by her, it has to be accepted.
If you are in public life,
okay.
And if you have a role to play in the state, or you're a minister, you have public accountability, then you'll have to answer questions. It doesn't matter where those questions come from. And I'm not a great admirer of Mr. Kejriwal, but to say all the time, who's this Kejriwal, who's this Kejriwal? He's a man who led a huge mass movement. That is what I object to. A huge mass movement. I don't think we saw that kind of political energy being released in this country after
Arvind Kejriwal never led a mass
movement.
It was Anna Hazare who did it.
इस पूरे डॉक्यूमेंट में 4 पेज छोड़ दीजिए जो हमारा प्रेस स्टेटमेंट है, उसके अलावा सारी बैलेंस शीट मिस्टर रॉबर्ट वाड्रा ने साइन की है। आप इनको ये नहीं कह सकते कि ये कहां से आ गए इन लोगों ने।
These papers are there with the registrar of companies, Renuka. They're not papers that have been made up to be fair to them. But obviously we haven't heard the last of this story yet. आपने कहा था कि there will be another expose on another leader that was supposed to be tomorrow. अब वो कल नहीं हो रहा है।
अभी हम इन पर डिबेट कर रहे थे, इनके सारे रिसर्च
क्या वो ऑपोजिशन के लीडर हैं? इतना बता दीजिए।
विल टेल।
हाँ या ना?
हम डिबेट नहीं चेंज करना चाहते, अभी डिबेट इस पे होनी चाहिए, इसलिए
आई एम जस्ट आस्किंग, इज द नेक्स्ट लीडर फ्रॉम समवन फ्रॉम द ऑपोजिशन?
मे बी और मे नॉट बी।
Very good at stonewalling there. All right, Renuka Chaudhary, Manish Sisodiya, Bharat Bhushan, thank you very much for joining us tonight on that. We will have more on this story tomorrow as well. There are new developments taking place and many different angles to this story that continue to capture the media's attention. See you tomorrow night. Goodbye.